It's been 4 years of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, with 49 of the 54 countries on the continent ratifying the agreement. Calls are now growing louder for greater efforts in unlocking business activities under the AfCFTA, a move the Secretariat Tsotetsi Magong believes will help enhance African economies to reducing dependence.
No one is going to save Africa. I want to say, and I will say it again, no one is going to save Africa. We are importing 60% of what we eat in the continent, yet the continent has 60% of global arable land. That's oxymoronic. How is that possible? Those that are giving us markets, or rather, I beg your pardon, those that we are giving markets to, the food that we are consuming from Europe, from East Asia, from North America, they are not going to relent and say the continent should just go ahead because it's charity. No. So we have to save ourselves. And therefore, I say the AfCFTA is an insurance policy that can ensure that products that are produced in South Africa, products that are produced in Kenya, in Egypt, are actually what we consume in the rest of the countries that we have in the continent. So it's a very important moment, because if we see the trade wars that are going on and really our members and African countries being negatively affected, Lesotho losing $200 million because of the tariffs that have been imposed by the United States. What if we could have Lesotho export these textiles to the rest of the continent?
The AfCFTA is a trade agreement bringing together an economy of 1.4 billion people, aimed at creating a single market for goods and services across Africa, reducing tariffs and standardizing trade regulations among member states.
The AfCFTA, we have identified 4 priority sectors that we are saying we can work together as the continent. One of them is pharmaceuticals. Look at the statistics when it comes to the pharmaceutical products that we import into the continent. Of course, look at what happened during the COVID period. Can we actually drive that particular sector, the pharmaceutical sector? What would it take for us to drive it and make sure that investments come into the continent? Agro-processing, one of the very important sectors. You go to any place in the continent, you look at the shelves, and surprisingly, you'll find a lot of agricultural products from the US, you'll find a lot of agricultural products from Europe. And the question is, in terms of agro-processing, what is it that we're not doing right?
Governments have been challenged to de-risk investments through incentives for the markets. Director of the Nelson Mandela School of Public Governance, Professor Faisal Ismail, has called for a unified approach in formulating a common industrial policy going forward.
The challenge is really to stimulate the private sector to lead, because trade in the end has to take place by the private sector. Trade has to be investment-led. It has to be industrialization-led.
The forum is a platform for critical debates on policies that could help governments and build capacity on issues of economic development, with a panel discussion held looking at studies conducted by academics on the role and future of the AfCFTA. The AfCFTA Secretariat looking for greater efforts in solidifying the work of the platform to protect and champion economies on the continent amid global trade uncertainties. Calls are also that of heightened political will, pragmatic nationalism, and intention that will put the SADC region and its people first. Katlego Logodi, SABC News in Sandton, Johannesburg.